Welcome to the Mind Set in Stone podcast, your gateway to exploring the most transformative books of our time. Join hosts Laurel and Poppy as they unravel powerful themes, uncover life-changing ideas, and share the stories that shape how we see the world. Get ready to explore the big ideas that leave a lasting impact. Let's get started.
Ever catch yourself sort of stuck in a cycle? Wanting more, maybe more joy or more success, better health, but feeling like there's something you just can't quite put your finger on holding you back.
Like some invisible current.
Exactly. An invisible current that's kind of subtly steering your reality. Well, let's dive into that feeling today, because this deep dive is all about exploring precisely this idea, the power.
Right.
And our goal isn't just understanding the concept in theory. We want to equip you, our listener, with actionable insight.
Yeah, practical takeaways.
Practical takeaways on how to harness its core principle, to tangibly improve your relationships, your finances, your well-being, your career, pretty much everything. We sifted through a whole collection of sources. The power, the secret, the magic are in there to bring you the most impactful nuggets.
And what's really compelling looking across all these sources is how they line up on this fundamental truth, that the key to unlocking a really positive, fulfilling life isn't just about external effort or grinding away. It's about a foundational force that, underpins everything.
Okay, and that force is?
It's love. Now, hang on. This isn't just romantic love or, affection for your family.
Right, not just the emotion.
Not just the emotion. Think of it more as the actual positive energy of life itself, a force that's as real and active as, say, gravity.
Okay, that's a big idea.
It is. Prentice Mulford, who was a real pioneer in this kind of thinking, he described it beautifully. He said something like, love is an element which, though physically unseen, is as real as air or water. It is an acting, living, moving force. It moves in waves and currents like those of the ocean. So it's this dynamic power that's constantly at play in the universe.
Right, so this understanding of love goes way beyond just a feeling. The source material really presents it as the prime mover of everything good.
The root cause. The
root cause of every positive outcome. Exactly. It's like the fundamental positive energy of existence itself. Maybe even more fundamental than courses we, readily accept, like electromagnetism.
Pierre Teilhard Chardin apparently called it the most powerful and still most unknown energy in the world.
That's quite a statement. And here's something to think about. What was it that fueled the Wright brothers' relentless pursuit of flight?
Their passion for it.
Their deep love for the idea. And what drives scientists, inventors to push boundaries?
That same kind of passion, that love for discovery.
Totally. And the architects, the builders who shape our cities, it's their dedication, their love for creation. The sources really suggest that a truly great life is built on this foundation of love for what you do and what you desire.
Yeah, and if we zoom out, look at the bigger picture, this positive force, this love, it operates according to a universal principle.
Okay, a law.
A law. The law of attraction. Just like we have physical laws that govern things like flight or electricity, this law governs the force of love. It's the mechanism, you could say, by which this energy actually manifests in our lives.
So it's not just floating out there. There's a system to it.
Exactly. The law of attraction is described as the very glue of the cosmos, holding galaxies together.
Wow.
Forming the tiniest particles, driving natural processes, flowers attracting bees, guiding animal behavior, even maintaining the integrity of our own bodies, our cells. It's presented as a fundamental operating system of reality.
Okay, so how does this connect directly to you, the listener? How does it impact our everyday lives?
Well, the sources really emphasize that this law of attraction isn't some detached cosmic thing. It's intimately connected to your thoughts and your feelings right now.
In this moment.
In every single moment, you're essentially emitting a stream of energy, either positive or negative, mentally and emotionally.
Okay, like a broadcast signal.
And this output, according to these sources, directly shapes what you experience in life. It's not random chance. They explicitly say, life doesn't just happen to you. You receive everything in your life based on what you've given.
That's a powerful statement. So it's like a constant magnetic exchange.
Precisely. Your dominant thoughts and feelings act like magnets, attracting corresponding circumstances in all areas: money, health, relationships, your job, every little event in your life.
That really puts the responsibility back on us, doesn't it? Or maybe the power with us? Both.
I think. It prompts a crucial question. How aware are we really of our dominant thoughts and feelings day to day?
Good point. We're often on autopilot.
Exactly. And the sources highlight the power of focus. When you consistently think and talk about what you love, what you appreciate, you're essentially activating a magnet that draws more of that into your life. But conversely, if you're fixating on what you dislike, what you lack, what's wrong, you inadvertently push away the positive things.
So you attract what you focus on, good or bad.
That's the core idea. There's often a clear difference between people who seem to naturally attract good things. Their focus tends to be on love, appreciation, possibility, and those who struggle. Often, their attention is just locked onto what's missing, what's not working.
Makes sense. Sophocles apparently said something powerful about this.
Yeah, one word frees us of all the weight and pain of life. That word is love. It really boils down to where you consistently direct your mental and emotional energy.
Okay, so let's get practical then. How do we actively use this? Because it's easy to talk about.
Well, the sources point out something really common. We tend to talk a lot about our problems.
Definitely. Financial worries, relationship issues, health concerns.
Exactly. And doing that keeps our focus squarely on what we don't want.
Okay.
So the recommended shift is a conscious redirection. Deliberately move your mental and your verbal energy toward what you do desire, what you do love.
Okay, like consciously changing the channel.
Pretty much. There's this inspiring story in the material about a woman who she overcame some really significant hardship after an abusive marriage. Terrible circumstances.
Right.
But despite all that difficulty, she made a deliberate choice to dwell on her dreams. She wanted a loving partner. She wanted to travel to Europe.
Even while things were tough.
Even then, she actively chose to give love by focusing her thoughts, even taking small imaginative steps towards those goals. And, well, remarkably, that envisioned future became her actual reality.
Wow. So she focused on love despite the circumstances.
That's the key takeaway from that story. Intentionally focusing on love, even when things look bleak.
And you mentioned feelings earlier. Is it just positive thinking or is there more to it?
Good question. That's critically important. The sources really emphasize the feeling aspect. Positive thinking alone apparently isn't enough. The law of attraction, which we're kind of understanding now as the law of love, it responds powerfully to both your thoughts and your emotions, especially your emotions. The sources offer these key points of power related to love. Things like, love is the ultimate positive force. Everything good comes from it.
Right.
We have the choice in every single moment to engage with it or not. The law of attraction is the law of love in action. Giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. And ultimately, love is presented as the greatest power in the universe, period.
And Neville Goddard is quoted as saying, feeling is the secret.
Exactly, because we are fundamentally emotional beings, aren't we? We're always feeling something. And these emotions act like signals indicating what kind of vibration, what energy we're transmitting.
So it's important to know what we're feeling. And maybe not just feeling okay.
That's a really important distinction they make. Feeling just okay or neutral isn't the same as emitting a strong positive charge. There's a big difference between just the absence of intense negativity and the presence of genuine good feelings, joy, gratitude, passion.
So our emotional state is like an internal barometer.
Yes, indicating the kind of energy you're sending out to the universe or to the law of attraction.
Which leads to that profound idea you mentioned earlier.
Yes. Life isn't happening to you. Life is responding to you. Life is your call.
Wow. So every part of our experience is basically a reflection of the energy we've been putting out.
That's the perspective offered. And therefore, consciously cultivating positive feelings becomes your direct pathway to tapping into that force of love and guiding yourself toward what you want.
So the core principle is feel good now to attract good things later.
Exactly. It challenges that common mindset of, I'll be happy when. I'll feel good when I get the job or the relationship or the money.
Right. We delay our happiness.
We do. But the sources argue that your current emotional state is actively creating your future. So the work is to make a conscious effort to cultivate good feelings in this moment.
Okay. And all good feelings are connected to love.
They're all seen as expressions or facets of love. Joy, gratitude, passion, enthusiasm, they're all rooted in love. And conversely, negative feelings, fear, anger, sadness, signal a lack of love in that moment or regarding that subject.
So how can someone intentionally boost those good feelings if they're stuck in a rut?
Good question. A very practical technique suggested is to actively bring to mind and maybe even list everything you love. Just sit down and think about people, places, things, activities, memories, anything that genuinely makes you feel good.
Really immerse yourself in that feeling.
Yes, allow yourself to fully feel that appreciation, that joy, until you experience a genuine shift in your emotional state, until you feel really amazing.
Because life acts like a mirror.
Reflecting what you consistently give out in every area. So, an abundance of positive emotion, of love and gratitude translates into limitless potential in your life.
So instead of fighting against the circumstances you don't like,
The advice is to shift your focus. Consciously generate loving feelings, positive feelings, and the things you desire will naturally start to come into your experience. You have to first be happy, vibrate at that frequency of happiness and love to attract happy and loving circumstances.
okay, that leads nicely into the actual process. The sources talk about creation process.
A very specific 3-step method for consciously harnessing this force of love. It's framed as imagine it, feel it, receive it.
Imagine, feel, receive. Okay.
The idea behind it is that everything in the universe is magnetic, and feelings carry distinct vibrational frequencies. Good feelings, love, joy, gratitude resonate at a high positive frequency.
And bad feelings.
They vibrate at lower negative frequencies. So your predominant emotional state basically dictates your overall frequency, your magnetic signal. This is all about clearly envisioning what you truly desire, allowing your mind to connect with that specific outcome, making it vivid, making it real in your mind's eye.
Getting clear on the what.
Exactly. Then, second, feel. This is where the real power comes in. The magnetic force.
It's the engine of it all.
You could say that. Your focused desire, amplified by genuine feelings of love, excitement, and already having it, that creates the energetic pull, the magnetism that draws your desire into your reality.
It's as much as seeing it, it's feeling the joy of it.
Precisely. And finally, third, receive. This is where the force of love, the universe, whatever term you prefer, gets to work. It uses both visible and invisible pathways, people, events, circumstances to orchestrate the manifestation, to deliver what you've consistently focused on with love.
So our job is the imagine and feel part, and the receive part is handled by this power.
That's the model presented. But a key element here is authentic burning desire. That genuine love for your vision is absolutely essential to effectively harness this creative force. It can't be lukewarm. And the crucial aspect, again, in the imagine and feel stages, is to consistently immerse yourself in the feeling of already having what you desire.
Not wanting it, but having it.
Big difference. You maintain that state without wavering. Because the law of attraction, as they describe it, acts like a perfect mirror or copying machine. It just reflects back the energy, the feeling you're consistently emitting.
Okay, so give you an example, like with weight.
Okay, so instead of focusing on the frustration of being overweight, you'd vividly imagine and feel the sensations of being in your ideal physical form. Feel the energy, the lightness, the confidence. Immerse yourself in the sights, sounds, tastes, and emotions of your dream destination as if you were already there. Feel the sun, taste the food, hear the language. Make it real inside you.
That consistent vibrational offering is key.
It really is. There's a lovely little story in the material about a woman who vividly imagined white calla lilies, just loved them. And shortly after, she unexpectedly started seeing them everywhere, in pictures, mentioned in conversations, and it culminated in someone actually giving her a single white calla lily as a gift.
Wow. So it could show up in surprising ways.
Often does. It highlights how our focused intentions can materialize, sometimes quite unexpectedly. Neville Goddard, again, put it so profoundly, imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will.
That's powerful.
The sources use other analogies too, like a boomerang, what you send out comes right back to you.
Right.
Good or bad.
Or like a copying machine, just duplicating whatever signal you feed into it. There's even a personal story from one of the authors about attracting a specific Parisian skirt. She'd only seen it in a photograph while she was in Australia, but she just held this feeling of love and desire for it, really vividly imagined wearing it, and somehow it ended up finding its way to her.
Just through loving it and imagining it.
That's the story. It really underscores the profound creative power of your imagination when it's fueled by love.
So when you consistently visualize something positive, something you deeply desire, and you really imbue that vision with feelings of love, you're actively engaging this force of love in the creation process.
You got it. The only important caveat they mention is that your imaginings must come from a place of love, not intending any harm or negative impact on others. It has to be a positive creation.
And the material encourages us to really let our imagination run wild.
Absolutely. Push beyond perceived limits. Don't just imagine a little better. Imagine the most magnificent possibilities, the best possible outcomes.
It seems like a fundamental difference between people who achieve great things and those who don't.
It really is presented that way.
Christian D. Larson said, "The secret of the mastermind is found wholly in the use of imagination."
Spot on. And think about history. Countless visionaries achieved seemingly impossible things because they first dared to vividly imagine them.
So the sources argue that our entire life experience is, in many ways, a reflection of what we've consistently imagined it to be.
That's the claim. The danger is that many people, often unconsciously, allow fear to dictate their imaginings. They imagine the worst-case scenario.
And that can become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
According to this model, yes. There's another anecdote about a lost dog named Cabby. Naturally, feelings of fear, despair, anguish started to creep in.
Understandable.
But they made a conscious decision to stop, to redirect their focus. They started vividly imagining and emotionally embracing the positive outcome. Cabby being found, safe and sound, feeling the relief, the joy. The powerful takeaway is, when you're facing a challenge, intentionally visualize the best possible resolution and wholeheartedly feel the relief, the gratitude, the joy of that outcome now to actively shift the circumstances.
That requires real mental discipline, though.
It does. It's a practice.
So the sources even suggest that anything we can imagine, it already exists somewhere.
Yeah, that's a really mind-bending idea they put forward, that everything you can possibly imagine already exists in the realm of potentiality, in creation. They sometimes reference ancient wisdom or even ideas from quantum physics to support this view, this vast field of possibilities, just waiting.
So our desires aren't just random thoughts, they're potential reality.
Potential realities, exactly. Awaiting your focused attention and your loving intention to draw them into your tangible experience.
Okay, that leads to some interesting techniques, doesn't it? Like propping yourself up.
Yes, that follows directly from this idea. It involves using your imagination to actively live as if you already possess what you desire. Acting the part internally.
How does that work?
There's a compelling story about an unemployed woman. She wanted a job badly, so she started simulating a daily work routine in detail.
Like pretending.
More than pretending. She set her alarm, got dressed professionally, mentally engaged with imaginary colleagues and tasks, even took a lunch break. And crucially, at the end of her workday, she expressed genuine gratitude for her fulfilling day and her paycheck.
And what happened?
Within 2 weeks, she manifested the exact kind of job she'd been imagining. Christian D. Larson emphasized this internally, directing your thoughts and actions based on your desired reality, not being swayed by current external appearances.
So it's about aligning your inner world first.
Precisely. And this idea of using props isn't just mental. It can include tangible objects and engaging your senses.
Okay, like how?
Well, if you desire a partner, maybe you consciously act as if they're already part of your life. Leave space in the closet. Set the table for two sometimes. Visualize doing things together. Keep items around that remind you of your desire, keeping it top of mind.
Right, like that woman with the horse pictures.
Exactly. The woman who wanted a specific type of horse, a chestnut Morgan gelding, she surrounded herself with pictures of them, really felt the joy of owning one, and incredibly, she won exactly that horse in a raffle.
That's amazing. And using your senses.
Your senses are powerful props, too. Engage them fully. What would it feel like, taste like, smell like, look like, sound like, to have what you want? Immerse yourself in that sensory experience.
Like the man wanting job offers.
He mentally immersed himself in the sensory details, feeling the weight of the offer letters, seeing the company logos, hearing the congratulations, and that visualization perfectly aligned with his eventual reality of receiving 2 dream job offers.
So the encouraging message is, once you've really done your part, the imagining and feeling, you've essentially shifted into a new reality where your desire exists, even if you can't see it yet.
That's the idea. You've planted the seed, done the internal work, you've aligned your vibration.
Okay, let's talk about this magnetic field of feelings. What's that about?
The sources explain that your positive emotions, love, joy, gratitude, actually generate a kind of positive magnetic field around you.
I'm like an aura.
Sort of like an aura or a personal atmosphere. And this field, being magnetic, naturally attracts experiences, people, and circumstances that resonate with that same high vibrational frequency.
So good feelings attract good experiences.
It's presented as a natural consequence of the energy you're radiating. That field draws in things that are in harmony with its positive charge.
Is there an example of this?
There's an account mentioned of someone who reportedly overcame a serious, supposedly incurable illness by consistently, deliberately focusing on love and positive emotions, essentially creating a powerful magnetic field of healing around themselves, which attracted recovery. As the ancient sage Chanakya apparently said, your feelings are your God. They hold that creative power.
And this applies to anything: health, money, relationships.
The underlying principle is consistent. Whatever you desire, vividly imagine already having it, and wholeheartedly feel the love, the gratitude, the joy associated with it.
How often should someone do this?
Even dedicating a focused 7 minutes each day to this intentional practice, really feeling it, is highly recommended as a starting point.
But what about bad feelings? Can we just eliminate them?
That's unrealistic, and the sources acknowledge that. Experiencing negative emotions is part of being human. You can't expect to just switch them off entirely.
So what's the key bit?
The key is how you react to those negative feelings. Reacting negatively to negativity, getting angry about being angry, or despairing about feeling sad just amplifies its power and strengthens its negative magnetic pull.
So don't add fuel to the fire.
Exactly. Cultivate mindfulness. Notice the feeling without letting it take over and dominate your whole emotional landscape. Your magnetic field, whether it's mostly positive or negative, goes with you everywhere, constantly attracting experiences that match its energy.
And every act of love strengthens the positive field.
Yes, every conscious act, whether it's a feeling, a kind word, a loving action, reinforces that positive field and boosts your power to attract the things you truly love.
The sources use an analogy about a dot.
Yeah, it's a simple way to illustrate that from the perspective of this immense force of love, achieving your desires is actually quite easy. Like moving a tiny dot, we make it seem hard.
So we don't need to fight against negativity.
You don't need to engage in a struggle. Your main job is just to consistently radiate love for what you do want. Life, it's suggested, is constantly presenting you with options, contrasts, opportunities to choose what you love.
So we see things we don't like.
And the advice is, don't get caught up in judging them, labeling them as bad, complaining about them, because that very focus inadvertently attracts more of the same. Instead, use the contrast to clarify what you do love and put your energy there. Actively celebrate the successes and joys of others, too. Feel happy for them as if it were your own success. That aligns you with those positive frequencies.
Because only love attracts.
Only love has that true magnetic power of attraction, according to this perspective. Judgment, envy, criticism, they push good things away.
This leads into some really fascinating ideas about reality itself, doesn't it?
It really does. The sources actively challenge our conventional ways of seeing the world.
Like the idea of lack.
They argue that lack isn't fundamentally real. They might point to quantum physics, suggesting a universe of infinite possibilities, infinite potential realities. Time is presented as more of an illusion, echoing Einstein's theories, not the fixed linear thing we usually assume.
And consciousness?
Everything is considered to be alive, imbued with consciousness, as Prentice Mulford suggested, a very narrow band. Think about light frequencies, sound frequencies. There's so much reality our physical senses just don't register. Even solid matter, we now know, is mostly empty space.
Gautama Buddha said something about the world being an illusion.
Yes, something like, a wise man, recognizing that the world is but an illusion, does not act as if it is real, so therefore he escapes the suffering. It's about not being trapped by limiting appearances.
But the implication is huge. Imagination isn't just daydreaming.
It's seen as a real dimension, a creative space where all possibilities exist before they manifest physically.
And the law of attraction just delivers based on the story we tell.
It has to, according to this model. It reflects the story you consistently tell yourself through your thoughts, feelings, and focus, whether that story is amazing and empowering or limiting and negative.
So the advice is, consciously write your own story.
Absolutely. Craft and narrate the story of your amazing life. Focus with unwavering attention on what you desire, what you love, what you appreciate.
What about negative things from the past?
If dwelling on them evokes negative feelings now, they don't need to be part of your ongoing story. They're finished. You have the power to choose the narrative you live in today.
Okay, so let's quickly recap some key principles we've covered so far. Focus on what you love.
Right. Say yes to what you love. Remember, the law of attraction responds primarily to your feeling.
What you give is what you receive. Lack is just a lack of love in that area.
And crucially, you are inherently good enough, worthy enough right now. You don't need to earn it.
W. Clement Stone's quote about invisible possessions seems relevant here.
Yes. Your most precious, valued possessions and your greatest powers are invisible and intangible. You and you alone can give them. You will receive abundance for your giving. It's about giving those inner qualities love, gratitude, positive focus.
Okay, now the sources talk about specific keys to power, ways to really activate this.
Yes, presented as the most effective ways to consciously engage and harness this force of love in your daily life.
And the first one is love itself.
The key of love. But not just passively. This is about cultivating an intense, passionate love for life in all its aspects. Maybe to a degree you haven't even considered before.
Like fall in love with life.
Exactly. The sources encourage you to fall deeply in love with life itself. They suggest your capacity for love within you is actually limitless, just waiting to be expanded and expressed.
And what happens when you do that?
The promise is pretty transformative. When you genuinely fall in love with life, those perceived limitations of money, health, happiness blocks, they start to dissolve. Resistance just weakens.
Things flow more easily.
Yes, the things you love and desire can manifest with surprising speed. Your whole presence can become a source of positive energy. Opportunities pop up, negativity seems to just fall away.
How is it like falling in love with a person?
Well, when you fall for someone, you tend to focus on their good qualities, right? You appreciate their presence, you speak well of them, you express affection. Apply that same focused, loving attention to life. Actively look for things to love throughout your day. Marvels of technology, the beauty of nature, acts of creativity, things you enjoy doing.
Make a list even.
Definitely suggested. Make a conscious list of everything you love to do, everything you appreciate. As Kierkegaard said, when one has once fully entered the realm of love, the world, no matter how imperfect, becomes rich and beautiful. It consists solely of opportunities for love. Consciously notice and savor all the myriad things around you that spark joy, appreciation, and love.
Okay, key hashtag 1, love life intensely. What's key hashtag 2?
The key of alertness. This is about being present, cultivating mindful awareness throughout your day rather than being lost in your head, lost in thought.
We've all done that walk somewhere and not remembered the journey.
That experience highlights the need for this key. Blaise Pascal apparently said, "A clear mind loves ardently and sees distinctly what it loves." There's a direct link between mental clarity, being present, and the power of love.
How do you cultivate that alertness? It sounds hard.
Intentionally ask yourself specific questions that force your mind to scan your immediate environment for things you love. Like, what can I see right now that I genuinely love? Or what sounds can I hear that I appreciate? Or how many things around me right now can I find to be grateful for?
So asking the question stops the random mind chatter.
Instantly. It shifts your focus and quiets the stream of unrelated thoughts. The advice is to make this a regular habit. Keep asking yourself these kinds of questions throughout the day. The more you do it, the more conscious control you gain. You become the driver of your mind, actively steering it towards love and appreciation instead of letting it wander into worry or negativity.
Taking the reins. Okay, key hashtag 1, love, key hashtag 2, alertness. Was key hashtag 3.
The key of gratitude. This is presented as incredibly powerful. Wallace Waddell stated, "You cannot exercise much power without gratitude, because it is gratitude that keeps you connected with power."
Connected to the power itself.
That's the idea. And the sources are just packed with compelling stories of profound transformations, health restored, relationships healed, money flowing, mental well-being improving, all attributed to the consistent, heartfelt practice of gratitude.
It seems central to many spiritual traditions, too.
Absolutely. It's noted that pretty much every great spiritual teacher emphasized gratitude as a high expression of love, recognizing it aligns you with universal law, with how things work. Meister Eckhart also spoke profoundly about gratitude's power.
How does gratitude work? Is it just saying thank you?
Saying thank you is the start, the verbal trigger. But the real power, they stress, is in the heartfelt feeling that goes with it. The more genuinely you feel gratitude, the more love you're radiating.
Are there specific ways to use it?
Yes. 3 intentional ways are often suggested. First, gratitude for your past. Reflecting with appreciation on blessings, lessons learned, good experiences. Second, gratitude for your present. Consciously acknowledging and giving thanks for everything you have and are receiving right now, big and small.
And third,
Gratitude for your future. Expressing thanks for your desires as if they have already manifested. Feeling the gratitude now for what you want to receive.
That ties back to the creation process.
Exactly. And ungratefulness, on the other hand, is seen as a major block. It stops the flow, stops you changing circumstances or attracting what you want.
Whereas gratitude multiplies the good.
It multiplies what you have and actively draws in what you desire. There's a story about a man who was divorced, depressed, struggling, and within about 120 days of dedicated gratitude practice, his whole life turned around.
It's easy to take things for granted, isn't it?
So easy. Clean water from the tap, electricity, roads, the clothes we wear. Countless things that result from the efforts of others. Dietrich Bonhoeffer reminded us, in ordinary life, we hardly realize that we receive a great deal more than we give, and that it is only with gratitude that life becomes rich.
So practice gratitude constantly.
That's the advice. The more deeply you feel it, the more love you give, and the more love and abundance you naturally receive back.
It costs nothing, but it's invaluable. Okay, love, alertness, gratitude, those are the keys. The sources also talk about using imagination playfully.
Using imagination to create fun games around your desires, making the process enjoyable rather than a chore.
Like Lance Armstrong.
His story is a powerful example. Facing cancer, he used the mental game of visualizing himself racing in a time trial, pushing through the pain, seeing himself healthy and strong, winning. And that intense imaginative game played a huge role in his recovery and eventual Tour de France victories.
And Nikola Tesla.
An incredible example. He apparently developed entire inventions, complex machines, completely in his imagination, first testing them, refining them, perfecting them mentally before ever building a physical prototype. It showcases the immense creative power within the mind.
Einstein's quote fits here. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere.
Perfect quote for it. The encouragement is to actively use your imagination, use props, use all your senses, make it a vivid, fun game.
So if you want a better body,
imagine someone else's amazing physique is actually yours. Really feel the strength, the energy, the vitality as if it's your reality right now. Play with that feeling.
ask yourself, if I had what I wanted, how would I feel?
And then act that way now in your imagination. Immerse yourself in those positive emotions. The core message repeats. Whatever you consistently imagine with strong, loving feeling, you will eventually receive.
And people like Armstrong, Schwarzenegger, Tesla, they made their imaginings real because they felt them so intensely.
They didn't just think about it. They lived it internally first. They made it real through feeling. Your own dreams, the sources suggest, are much closer than you think because the power to bring them forth is already inside you.
Jesus said, everything is possible for the person who believes.
That belief, that feeling is key. Capturing those spontaneous moments of excitement or inspiration throughout the day and quickly channeling that energy into vividly imagining and feeling your dream fulfilled that's presented as powerful play, the real joy of creation. Neville Goddard spoke about this joy too.
Okay, moving towards wrapping up, the sources offer some final points on specific areas, like money.
Yes, addressing some common misconceptions. Money is seen as a tool, a means of exchange, not the only way abundance can come to you. A perceived lack of money often reflects underlying negative feelings about money.
Fear, worry, resentment.
Exactly. There's this concept, love is sticking power, meaning if you feel good about money, appreciate it, feel grateful for it, handle it with positive energy, it tends to stick around, to flow easily.
And negative feelings repel it.
They push it away. Practical tips include being genuinely grateful for the money you do have, no matter how little it seems. Feel good when paying bills, see it as abundance flowing through you. Maybe even write, "Thank you for the money" on them.
What about seeing others succeed financially?
React with genuine joy and celebration for them. Feel happy for their abundance. That aligns you with abundance too. Send thoughts of prosperity to others. It's all about cultivating positive feelings around the whole subject of money. And crucially, offer real value in exchange for money you receive through work or business.
Like the sister attracting a new car by being happy for her sibling.
Yes, a perfect example. Her genuine happiness for her sister's new car put her on the frequency of receiving one herself. Ultimately, put love and good feelings first, and money tends to follow.
And relationships. What's the key there?
The absolute foundation is giving love, consistently. The energy you give out to every person you encounter is pretty much what you receive back from the relationship overall.
What about difficult people generally? PT.
Yes, reframing them as personal emotional trainers, BTs. People who challenge you, push your buttons. They're actually giving you an opportunity to consciously choose love over reaction, to move off a negative frequency.
So your reaction matters more than their action.
Your reaction is what sticks to you. Choose positive reactions, choose love for your own sake. Giving love expands your own positive magnetic field, drawing more love to you from all sources. Whatever you give to another, ultimately, you give to yourself.
Enthusiasm and happiness are contagious too.
Absolutely. They uplift everyone. And trust that solutions to relationship problems will appear if you maintain good feelings and keep giving love. The core message across the board for relationships. Love.
Okay, finally, health. What's the perspective here?
True health isn't just not being sick. It's defined as feeling energetic, vibrant, full of life, like kids often do. And unlimited health is presented as available through love.
Belief plays a huge role, right?
A massive role. Fearful beliefs about getting certain diseases can actually contribute to manifesting them. The advice is to cultivate a strong, unwavering belief in lifelong health and vitality. The placebo effect is powerful proof of belief's impact.
And our bodies respond to our thoughts and feelings.
Yes, the body has amazing natural healing mechanisms. Cells are seen as responding directly to your commands, your thoughts, feelings, beliefs. Positive, loving feelings, especially heart-centered ones like love and gratitude, demonstrably boost the immune system and overall health. The HeartMath Institute has done fascinating research on this.
Water in the body is important too.
Yes. Given our bodies are mostly water, the idea is that love positively affects the very structure of that water, promoting health at a cellular level.
So for perfect health, give good feelings about health, be grateful daily.
Imagine and feel yourself already having the perfect health you desire, like the woman who healed her heart condition through love and gratitude practices.
What about aging?
The belief in inevitable decline with age is challenged. Ancient texts sometimes suggest much longer lifespans were possible. Our beliefs about aging program our bodies. If you believe you'll decline at 60, you likely will.
Change the belief.
Change the belief through love. Stop feeling your age. Focus on vitality. Negative beliefs tend to melt away in the face of consistent love and positive focus. There's an incredible story of a baby given zero chance of survival. The father held an unwavering focus of love and positive expectation, refusing to accept the negative prognosis. It shows the sheer power of love and belief.
Wow. Life is also presented as magical, full of messages.
Yes, if you're alert. Full of synchronicities, signs, feedback. When you notice things, recurring numbers, unexpected encounters, something catching your eye, ask, what is this telling me? Everything is giving you feedback.
You can have personal symbols too.
You can choose symbols of love, like rainbows or feathers, and see them as confirmation. Pay attention to your feelings, their guidance. Don't make important calls if you feel bad, for instance. Trust your intuition. Simple routines help gratitude for clothes, asking for guidance, sending love to people you'll meet, imagining positive journeys, asking questions throughout the day. What do I love about this? Trust you'll receive answers.
No accidents.
No accidents or coincidences, just the law of attraction responding. Trust the intelligence of love. Simplify life, don't sweat the small stuff. All negativity is just a lack of love.
And what about death?
It's presented not as an end, but a transition. We're eternal beings. Loved ones who have passed are on the highest frequency of love. You connect with them through your own love and gratitude, not grief. Love is the eternal connection.
Heaven is within.
Heaven is your frequency, pure love and joy, accessible now. The greatest joy is giving, aligning you with abundance. Your positive feelings are the true, everlasting riches. Give your love. It attracts all the riches of life. Every positive choice you make helps the world.
Wow. Life is also presented as magical, full of messages.
Spot on. And the actionable steps are pretty straightforward, aren't they? Make that conscious choice moment by moment to lean into loving thoughts and positive emotions. And establish that daily rhythm of gratitude for the past, the present, and the future you're creating. Pay attention to those nudges, those synchronicities. Ask what they mean.
Yeah, and the key takeaways for everyone listening. Focus your thoughts and, crucially, your feelings on love and appreciation. And make heartfelt gratitude a non-negotiable, consistent cornerstone of your daily life. Use your imagination vividly. See and feel your desires as already real. Feel the joy. Feel the gratitude now. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. If this power to shape your reality truly resides within your capacity to give and feel love, how might consciously, consistently applying these principles change everything?
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you're leaving with fresh insights and a spark of inspiration. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and check back for more episodes as we dive into new worlds of thought, one book at a time. Until then, keep your mind set in stone and your curiosity open. This has been a Big L Riz Media podcast, where big ideas meet lasting impressions.